St. Vincent has experienced an explosion of tourism because of the Tobago Sandals Resort.
Hey, my name is Renison Jeffrey, and this is the Workers' Rights Platform. We are broadcasting live from the Workers' Rights Network. Just on Saturday, somebody would have sent me a live stream where the PNM administration is celebrating their 69th year. A lot of things would have been highlighted there, but we strongly believe, in which we could prove at this point, that Keith Christopher Rowley have been misleading the population, who is attempting to mislead the population. And TTT is being used as the medium in doing so, whether directly or indirectly. This is a clear sign that they do not research their news. Now, before we go into that, let me go into the TTT broadcast.
St. Vincent has experienced an explosion of tourism because of the Tobago Sandals Resort. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley highlighted this point as he criticized the opposition for their efforts to undermine the nation's progress. Sunalala has more.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said St. Vincent has seen an exponential increase in tourism over the past year, attributing the country's major success to the Sandals project. He reminded that the failed Tobago Sandals project ended up going to St. Vincent.
Is that St. Vincent for the first time has an explosion in its tourism. They've had over 104,000 long stay visitors to St. Vincent. First time they crossed 100,000. And their tourism is booming. And you know what is causing that? The Tobago Sandals. The Tobago Sandals. The project that was too good for Tobago, that they believed that the PNM would have benefited in the Tobago House of Assembly and national election, so scuttle it, so they could win elections.
Throwback to a political meeting in August last year, Dr. Rowley had stated that he was constantly reminded by the St. Vincent Prime Minister of the economic effect the Sandals project was having in that country that did not take place in Tobago. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister on Saturday also chastised the opposition for its continuous effort to ensure a failed Dragon gas deal.
It is exactly that which is happening. Why the opposition, UNC, has come out so obscenely and vulgarly and attached itself to the political campaign of an American political party to provoke the Venezuelan president and the government there to prevent them from cooperating with Trinidad and Tobago in the oil and gas business. Exactly that. Make no mistake about it. And they're standing by to celebrate failure. That the dragon failed and the dragon failed and the dragon failed like the dragon tail. Let me tell you something. They do not want this country to succeed if it means that they fail at the polls.
And he assured that the government has the deal intact with the government of Venezuela.
PNM is the party that broke the barrier and opened the door for our future to accept raw materials from Venezuela. They put that in the context of Trinidad and Tobago supporting an individual. The contract that we have is with the government of Venezuela. And if the people of Venezuela change their government, it will not be done by us, but that contract is a contract with the state of Venezuela.
Sonolala, TTT News.
Now you heard that, and you see it broadcasted on our network as something that was pulled from a PNM platform. Now, this Sandals project, namely in which we are speaking about, I didn't want to call it out from before. This Sandals project was promises, of a better tourism sector in which, we could have pulled from Sandals' customer base, people that are loyal, that know how Sandals had their status. But do you know that Sandals is owing, a government would have claimed that Sandals is owing $30 million. $30 million in taxes, unpaid taxes. Now to go straight in exactly to what would have been said concerning that, we going to play the clip, But let us go into that. Right. Here, Antigua and Barbados Prime Minister claims Sandals Resort owes the country Inland Revenue Department $30 million in unpaid taxes. It comes months after the Bahamas Department of Inland Revenues demanded Sandals make a payment of $30 million in back tax. Now, this is very serious. Now, how it is that you could go on our platform now? With all due respect, Mr. Privates, jump up and say it was a promising project. Now, that is one aspect. Now, I know there are skeptics and doubters. Because that's the same thing. Even if it had skeptics and doubters amongst Jesus. Now we are going to play the clip from that Prime Minister. Stay tuned. And you who outside here that is adverse to some of the things that we are saying, I would like to hear your response. Thanks for watching. And those who haven't subscribed, please subscribe to our platform. Be a part of this fastest growing network. There are things that we are going to rebut. Stay tuned. We have a very important show that will be coming up this week. Stay tuned.
Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda Gaston Brown claims Sandals Resorts owes the country's Inland Revenue Department $30 million in unpaid taxes, a figure the resort chain is reportedly contesting. It comes months after the Bahamas' Department of Inland Revenue demanded that Sandals make a payment of $30.8 million in back taxes. However, Sandals has also challenged that assessment. Antigua's Prime Minister made the comments while on Point FM.
We have an issue right now with Sandals. I think Inland Revenue has actually assessed them for $30 million in taxes that they have not paid. And I know it's going to be another fight again. I don't understand, why these so-called investors feel that they're the only game in town and they're the only stakeholder that should benefit. So they try to wring every ounce of revenue out of the business, and they don't want the government to get nothing in the form of taxes.
He noted that the Bahamas has experienced a similar issue with the resort.
We have been through this with Sandals already, and I don't want to go down that road with them again. So I want to appeal to them to please cooperate, because if we have to collar them again, we'll collar them again. I know they have had an issue in the Bahamas in which certain things were done.
In July, the Nassau Guardian reported the demand by the DIR was made after an audit determined that the resort chain owed the Bahamas government over $29 million and $1.6 million in additional value-added taxes and business license fees, respectively. The audit period was for 2017 through 2022. The Antigua Prime Minister insisted something must be done as such issues deprive countries of crucial tax revenue.
It's not Sandals is the only stakeholder when you open your hotel in the Caribbean countries. You have staff who deserve a good pay. You have the government that ought to get its fair share of taxes. You cannot just concentrate exclusively on exploiting concessions and to push governments into the ground.
When asked by Bahamian reporters about the DIR's demand for Sandals to pay up, Chairman Adam Stewart said recently they are making progress with the Bahamas government on this matter.
It's an ongoing conversation with the government, but I believe that we're making great progress in whatever the disagreement may be.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Vonique Tude.
Wow. With this one, I feel I know coming outside of the matrix. But anyway, now you would have heard the comment from Sandal, you would have heard it from TTT, and you would have heard it now, you would have heard it from Kid Rowley. Now, talking about this dragon fuel gas thing, what you feel going on about? We all know, the whole world know that right now Trump is against Venezuela. That is not no secret, he make his intentions clear. What do you think going to happen with the dragon fuel gas? No matter how much convincing, yes. The thing that it may not be affected is just wishful thinking. I know we know with some of you all outside it. You are in a state of denial. And that is a fact. In all relationship, with anybody a matter of fact, When it is that it started to go bad, we just hope that, the started come good. And after a while, we find ourselves in, in a but in a toxic relationship. Kid Rowley, his time would have passed. Go into retirement. Retire in peace. Because at the end of the day, no longer we must, as a matter of fact, listen to the rants of the PNM without challenging it. Forget this bully behavior. Or use a big person, you beg your sense. I beg our sense, everybody beg their sense. Don't let somebody bully you, whether I be captain or cook. The Prime Minister, we know he have a bullying behavior. And the demands, how he push forward the notion. He put it in such a way that, is either you take what he say, or you're against him. And that is what you do not want from a leader. So pay attention. We will continue bringing you commentary like this. Stay tuned.